Last month, PWC and UK-based ISBA put out a report confirming the lack of transparency in programmatic advertising and demonstrated a large amount of each dollar disappeared with each transaction. What do you think about this?
I think that's why I set up Viztrade. The lack of transparency and the dodginess in the programmatic advertising world has been around for years. And everyone loves talking about it and loves to say they're going to change it, but no one does a thing. And even with this report by the ISBA, which is an organisation that represents British advertisers, and PWC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the top 4 global consultancy firms, even with those two people involved, I bet you nothing changes. You know, the report ended up saying that 51 cents in each dollar ends up with the publisher. I think that's what the figure was.
Yeah.
And that's up from about only 40 cents a couple of years ago. So they feel this is a massive improvement on the system. But there are already technologies available, already platforms available, Viztrade, that connects publishers and advertisers direct without any filtration of the dollar.
Yeah.
Well, no, the problem is that Viztrade and platforms like Viztrade do it differently to the legacy systems being used by brands and their marketing teams and their agencies, right? And so they need to be re-educated and use different platforms, right? Which they don't want to do. So they don't. Everyone just, whatever, and nothing changes.
And that kind of leads into the second question as well, which is the issue of transparency in programmatic has obviously been a hot topic for years, and many people obviously are advocating about the need for more transparency and better systems, yet nothing appears to change. So why do you think this is?
Because everybody's got too much to lose. The only people not making money out of programmatic advertising are the brands and the publishers. All the people in the middle are making a nice amount of money. Don't get me wrong, it's becoming more difficult for the different tech vendors to make money because brands are waking up to what's been going on, and publishers are getting smarter. But there's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
And with the demise of the cookie happening and Google canning it completely in 2 years, I think that new systems will be created. Whether that changes the opaqueness of the industry or improves the end result for publishers and advertisers is yet to be seen. But I think that improvements will need to be made.
So I've heard a rumour that the IAB Australia are looking at producing a similar report but are struggling to get any programmatic platforms to participate. So what does that say about the local industry?
So, yeah, look, I've been talking to the IAB for a while about transparency. They're all about transparency, and they produce many workshops. And collectively the IAB around the world are looking at ways to improve programmatic advertising and ensure that publishers make money because they're the future. They are the media industry. So when this ISBA report came out, I suggested that we do something like that here in Australia, and the guys at the IAB like the idea. We're just waiting for some of the local tech players who are predominantly tech giants from other parts of the world. They've just got an Australian division to put up their hand so that they participate. But currently they're dragging their heels.
So why do you think that they're dragging their heels?
Because
they've got too much to lose? Or?
Probably, yeah. Like they don't want. I understand, it's the secret sauce. They're businesses, they've got to protect their revenue. But I think that it's time that they re-engineered their platforms so that the results that they give publishers and advertisers are better than they're currently giving them.
So with the demise of the cookies within digital advertising and stricter privacy regulations, new ways to target must be developed. Will this promote a more transparent programmatic ecosystem?
It'll be interesting to see what happens when cookies are turned off. There are a whole lot of new recommendations on the way targeting should be done. It'll be interesting to see what Google does. They've got their privacy sandbox. I think it will be more transparent. You know, if there is absolutely no use of cookies, first party or third party, then they've really got limited options on what they can do. You know, and contextual advertising will probably become the norm. You'd have to be very clever to be able to target audiences without cookies. So look, I think there will be lots of improvements with targeting. I think cookies are also prone to huge amounts of ad fraud, which is another huge problem in the advertising, the digital advertising world. Yeah, no one wants to lose money, and the ad tech vendors are going to do everything in their power to preserve the level of revenue that they get. If that means that they need to remain slightly opaque, they will. But it's not our game, you know. We launched Viztrade purely to be visible, visible trading, right? And we're not really targeting enterprise level businesses with complex targeting strategies. We wanted to build a very simple solution to help small to medium sized businesses reach the audience they want and promote their business easily.
So on that point, Viztrade describes itself as a transparent marketplace with full transparency on price, position and performance. Can you elaborate on this?
You're right. So price, position and performance. So we set up Viztrade with an interface that's sort of like a really simple stock exchange. Okay, and so you can see the stocks, albeit the advertising spaces you can buy. You can see the price. So you can go on and buy all in real time. So it's all live. So you go in, you buy it, you put in the dates and budget that you want, and then you press activate and off you go. The performance, we rank every ad position against the goal that the advertiser is trying to achieve, and that's ranked in the advertiser category you sit in, and the location that you're in. So if you're a car dealer in a particular region, you can log on and you can see a list of all the different inventories that have run different auto campaigns and see the conversion rates and decide, well, that one's currently performing the best, that's where I should be. So we give a completely holistic view across price, position and performance with a view to helping less sophisticated media buyers make the right decision.
What effect on the industry do you think that the report will have? Will this encourage brands and marketers to analyse their digital spend more closely and make changes, or will it sit on deaf ears?
It'll be interesting to see what happens from the report. I think that brands and marketers are already aware that all this was happening. But now that somebody reputable like PWC have put out and endorsed a report in association with the ISBA in the UK, they'll look a bit dumb if they don't do something about it. So I think now that it's been published and it's out in the open and people are talking about it, I think financial directors and CFOs of companies will be pushing their marketing people to look, because it's now an accounting issue, not just a marketing issue. It's an accounting issue. So I see the financial departments of big organisations that are responsible for allocating a marketing budget having strict criteria on what they can and can't spend on now, and they'll probably insist on some sort of audit at the end of each financial year, so they can actually
Determine where their money's going.
evaluate whether or not all the money that was allocated for media was actually spent on media.